Mm-hmm.
You guys are both going?
Yep.
All right.
Now are you gonna explain the experiment first?
I am.
Okay.
Great. Welcome back, guys. I hope you're all tuning in for this. It's going to be pretty interesting. This is the Voodoo Box that you've heard us referencing if you've been tuning into the investigations this weekend here at Ripley's. It's a fairly new arrival. They got it in the summer, and there are a lot of things we don't know about this item yet. We know that it came from Thailand in we know that it came from Thailand in a shipment of items that Ripley's purchased. We also know that the box, its origins are from the 1800s. It is apparently French in origin, appears to have some Haitian voodoo connections, and I've already looked at the items and taken them out once briefly for an inspection, but tonight we get to do a unique experiment. I'd already told the guys I would be willing to be left alone in a room with this thing. Staff here is very nervous around it. One of the managers doesn't want anything to do with it, doesn't want near it, but they have graciously allowed us to inspect it closely and to try this experiment. So here's what I came up with. I'm going to open this box and show you guys some of the items that are in the box as I take them out.
White anomaly, and a white anomaly just flew up from the box right to your left.
Yeah.
By where?
A white thing just flew up right here beside David from the box up.
Okay. Starting
at the same time the footsteps went off.
So let me get this explained to you guys. I'm going to open the box. I'm going to show you some of the items that are in the box as I take them out. These guys are going to leave me in here alone with the items in this box, and I'm going to try to get some kind of response. Sean is going to be isolated in another room, in fact, in a shark cage, you'll love that, with his periscope running and a hack shack. He's going to try to get some responses remotely to what I'm experiencing in here. Furthermore, I'm going to take one of the items out of this box, wrap it so that no one knows what it is, and Brandon, the manager, is going to transport that item to Sean. Sean will not know what the item is. He's going to try to get something to communicate to him what's in the box. So,
go ahead.
Without anything else, we're going to roll with this. Now, there's tons of symbology on this box. Obviously, don't have time to go over everything. People having close encounters with death images on the top, intricate carvings all around the sides. The inside has quite a few items. A book from the 1800s that has both an almanac and some spiritual religious tracts inside of it. It is in the French language. There is a hand-carved crucifix. There is a wax doll that I confirmed has been used in some spell work. I'm going to show you briefly here. The knees of this doll are bound together with twine, and it's very old, as you can tell, and fragile. The bottoms of the feet have been burned in the candle. How much of this you guys are going to be able to see? The back has small pinholes around the base of the neck. And there are the remnants of what was obviously a personal item from the target attached to the back of this doll. That's what this piece here is with the pins. There was a piece of blue cloth here formerly that we still find remnants of along pieces of the dress. It was sewn onto the back. This is common in sympathetic magic. There's also a small axe that is extremely sharp. A devil's head, some candles, a series of vials across the back. There's an example of one of those. And I did confirm last night, I was able to identify some of the items that are in here. It includes graveyard dust, tobacco, as well as some other things. So without any further explanation, Sean, you're being banished to the shark cage, buddy. Have fun.
What do you got to say, Sean?
Party.
All right.
You got the hat shot?
Yeah, take him.
Get some answers. Take him, Brandon, and then please return.
Something bit my neck.
What?
That's why I smacked.
Responded something. I couldn't see anything.
I hope it wasn't something from this box.
Dude, the energy got crazy when the noises started happening.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
The
You
hack
lost?
shack.
You already lost it.
Is it over there?
No, that's the one I'm using. He's got the other one. I use it for the stand.
What's up there?
There's a millimeter.
He was only over there.
You had it with you? I thought I did.
Now, guys, I have not even decided yet what item I'm going to put in there. It's also a corpse of a bat in here. Sean won't be able to see any exchanges on his Periscope or anything else. So even though some people might see what I choose to wrap up, no one will be able to tell him. And I'm kind of torn between two items at the moment.
Should we go eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
Are we showing them this?
Yes. You can if you want to. Guys, I'm doing this for a very specific reason. This is a protective symbol that is in this box, and I am, at the moment, removing it so that I am in here alone without that.
So reiterate what we're doing, just so they get a better grasp of it.
So to reiterate, I'm going to be left alone with this Voodoo Box. We know that it was used for various types of negative spells that were cast by a practitioner. Obviously, there is a lot of both French and Voodoo symbology within this box. Box from the early 1800s from France. I have removed one item. It is in a box and wrapped in a cloth so that even the person transporting it to Sean, which is Brandon, won't know what item is in this box. Sean will not know what is in this box. It's going in the shark cage with him, and he's going to try to get some responses, relevant responses on the Hack Shack that relate to what I'm experiencing in here, and hopefully that relate to this particular item that I've chosen to send to him. I've got the SLS camera on me, which we'll be able to evaluate later. I do have a recorder running, so I can see if I pick up any EVPs later on. And I'm just going to, try to get some responses in here just by myself, without any other equipment in there or anything. I want to see if I can get some physical responses, some sounds, whatever comes about in here. So we're good to go as soon as Brandon
gets back. All right. I'm going to go ahead and set this camera up on you, and then I'm going to start the SLS.
I will keep it just in case I need it.
I need a pen light. Wow. I should get this thing fired up. This will be interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, right here.
Okay.
So obviously,
Make sure you tell him as soon as you take that to them to turn the ghost box on, and then
right.
we'll be ready. Okay.
So obviously, just deliver that straight to him. Don't try to. Don't even try to guess what's in it. I have no idea. Don't even try to guess what's in it.
Okay.
take it,
Yep, just take it, do it,
set it.
and then you can go back to the office. Thanks, man.
All right, will do. Anything for me?
I don't. I'm good at the moment.
All right, best of luck.
Let's see what happens. Give us just a couple of minutes, guys. We're getting the SLS camera going, and the item is being delivered to Sean now. I will show you guys a couple of the other things that are in here. This is a vial that contains nails, often used in these types of rituals to curse people, to cause harm. What else do we have here? Small vial. I know that's going to be hard for you to see, but what appears to be graveyard dust, something else that was commonly used to effect various kinds of curses. Just try to set some of this back up here. Bear with me just a moment. There's also there's a few things in this box that are mounted inside the box, so I can't pull them out to show you. One of those is what appears to be a devil's head that is mounted on one side of the box, the side closest to me, and is facing a mirror directly across from it. There's also a small coffin in here with a head in the coffin, a metal head. This is the frame of the coffin that does come off. And if you can see that there, it has a small shovel bound to it. So a lot of varied things in here that relate to different kinds of rituals. So you guys know there's also a small plaque in here that is about that big, and it has a pair of initials carved onto it. The initials are ML. So if that becomes relevant at some point. Right? Yeah, so on. Yes. Yes. All right. All right,
let me.
So we actually have a little light. You gonna be able to tell if that's capturing me?
Yeah, well, hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Yep. You are good to go, brother.
All right.
Let me double check this, make sure. Just want to make sure I got all of you in there. All right, you're good.
All right.
Good luck, man.
All right, so in the background, I can hear the ghost box a little bit, not enough to distinguish what's coming out of it, and it should not interfere with anything that I would hear audibly in here. The sensations are kind of strange already, I can tell you. This is the first time I've been left alone with this thing. I did have a chance to examine it last night, as I said earlier, and look over the items and give the managers here some details that I was able to determine about the box. But and I don't know if you guys can hear this, but there's kind of a sound coming out of the box at the moment. Sort of a clicking sound. don't think anything is vibrating. Wow, I really can't tell what that's coming from. And now it moved to that room. If there's anybody in here connected to this box or that knows about this box, make a sound right now. Let me know you're here. Make your presence known. Guys, I don't know if I'll mention or not, but if you want to get the full perspective of this, also check out Sean's Periscope. It's running at the same time as we're running this. You'll get a whole different side of what's going on right this minute. And some really strange sensations, particularly on my right side. Whose box was this? Who owned this box? What was your name? What can you tell me about this box? What was the axe in this box used for? Okay. If you're touching me, I did not give you permission to touch me. Make a sound. Make a sound so that I know you're in here. I didn't give you permission to touch me. Make your presence known in a different way. Knock on something. As the air is getting really thick in here. It's been kind of stuffy in here all night, but this is kind of crazy. The air is really thick in here. I do have a recorder running in case I pick up some EVPs. Sound over here. Sound again. Are you making a sound over here to my left? If you're in this room with me, make a sound right now. Who did you petition when you did spells around this box? Legba? Dambala? You can communicate with me here, or you can use that box that Sean has. Give us some information. And if you saw me take an item out of this box and send it over there, go communicate to him what I took out. Tell him the truth. Don't screw with him. Tell him the truth. Tell him what I put in that box. He doesn't know. Tell me about the power of this box. Oh, it's so thick in here, guys. The air is so thick in here. Consistently feeling something on my right side. You know that feeling when somebody's standing really close to you? Part of the time it's like they're touching you, but part of the time it's just like they're really close. And a strange sensation on the back of my head. What about this doll? Who did this doll represent? Who was it you hated so much that you did things to this doll in order to try to hurt them? I'm getting some strange sounds in here, guys. I don't know if you're hearing any of this on the live feed or not. Now, a shadow figure. If you're in that room, come in here. I just saw your shadow move. Come in here and communicate to me. Are you connected to this box? Thumping sounds. If you're the same shadow figure that Ross captured on camera, make a sound now. If you're connected to this box, make a sound. And there's that sound coming out of the box again, guys. It's so faint, but it sounds like something vibrating in the box. Tell me about this item. Tell me about this. Is it protective for me to hold this? I tell you guys, I'm always fine and comfortable in this room with all these tribal artifacts and everything. And I'm still comfortable at the moment, even with this box open, but the air is so thick in here. It really is. It's like being in a room crowded with people. You know how the air just gets really thick. And that's what I'm feeling at the moment. In fact, it's so pronounced that I'm having a little bit of trouble getting full breaths. Thump again. Who's standing in that room? I want you to come back over here again. Tell me about this. What was it used for? Did you mark the bottom of the box with this? There are some small markings on the bottom of the box, guys, that appear to be about the same size as the head of this axe. It's a little bit difficult to tell if that's exactly what made it, but they do look like scratches made with the axe. Almost as if it was used to keep track of things in some strange fashion. And that may be the case. I wish I could show you in detail every item that is in this box. It's pretty fascinating. And every time I look at it, I see something new. It's so intricate. There's so many things, so many small details. Even in the carvings and the interior design of the box. If you're making the air so thick in here, stop that for a moment so that I know you're doing it. Can you make a cool breeze? Can you make the temperature drop in here? The temperature's dropping. I swear the temperature's dropping. If you're doing that, thank you. I can feel the difference in the temperature. It's easier to breathe in here now. If you're still here, can you now make a noise for me? A sound. Something to communicate your presence. Don't touch me, please. I didn't ask you to touch me. Can you make a sound? If you're the one that was standing in that room, come back to the entryway again so I can see you clearer. A lot of anomalous sounds in here, guys, but most of them are very faint. And it's starting to get thick in here again. I've seen a shadow figure twice in this doorway. Of course, it's going to happen where the camera's not pointed at the moment. But we did capture it on thermal earlier. Is that you tapping? Can you tap like that again, please? I can just make out enough of Sean trying to get information about what's in the box I sent over. And I hope you guys are watching him on Periscope too. If you're here and connected to this box, prove your presence to us. Go over there and communicate to Sean the item that's in that box. Tell him what's in that box. Use that device. Make your voice come through that device. Tell him what item I placed in that box, please. I know that it's very special to you because I know everything in this box is special to you. thick in here again, guys. I'm trying an experiment. I'm alone in the tribal area, Ripleys, believe it or not, Ocean City, Maryland, examining this Voodoo Box. Dates from the early 1800s from France. This thing's been around the world. It was shipped here from, shipped to the States from Thailand. So somewhere along the way, from the 1800s, this thing journeyed from France, possibly from Haiti, to eventually Southeast Asia, obviously. Now to the United States, Ocean City, Maryland. And I've been able to closely examine the items that are in this box. And there's been a lot of anomalous things that have happened around it. Management is uncomfortable with it. It's getting so thick in here. We're trying this experiment. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted. So many anomalous sounds around me. We're trying an experiment. I have sent Sean into a different room of the building, into a shark cage, so a little bit of a Faraday cage, but he's listening to a ghost box to try to determine what item I secretly sent to him concealed in a box that came out of this set of voodoo tools. Hopefully he'll get an answer. And if you're, okay, you seem very determined to touch me, but I haven't given you permission to do so. If you want to touch me, I give you permission now to touch my hand. Right there, just at the wrist where I can feel it. I have gloves on to protect the box. Touch me right there. One time so I know it's you. Oh, still a sensation of something touching my arm, guys, but higher up. My shadow just moved in that room again. So you guys know, right through the doorway, behind the camera, of course, is an area you saw earlier in our broadcast. It's part of the torture room. There's an Iron Maiden in there and some other items. It's also where Sean had some experiences with a meter being pushed off a replica coffin. Why are you staying in that room? Come in here. Come in here so I can hear you better. Knocking noise behind me. You're real good at making the air very thick in here. Can you try to make it cooler again? Tell me about this doll. I asked before, can you tell me about it now? What about the person who was harmed by this doll? Is that person here? Can you communicate? Sound over there again. The air is getting so thick right around me that it's actually making me a little bit dizzy, guys. It's a really strange smell all of a sudden. It smells, it's almost like burned flowers or something. If you're trying to make me dizzy, stop. You don't have permission to do that. I have protections that you can't violate. You can communicate in other ways. Make a sound. Speak. There's a device in here that will capture your voice. I can hear it later. Speak now so I know who you are, what you need, what you want. Tell me anything you want to about this box. Who was ML? There are initials in this box. Who was ML? If ML was a woman, make a sound in here that I can hear now. I heard that, thank you. That was very faint. Can you make that sound louder? Was ML a woman? Make a sound now, please. Guys, it was just a whisper right by my ear. Please make a sound. If that was you, make a sound that's louder so that we can all hear it. Okay? Thank you. That was still very faint. Can you draw enough energy to make a louder sound? Has this box been in the United States before? If it has, make a loud sound right now. It's very curious to me, guys. Of course, that's if any of you know much about the history of voodoo, there's a very famous person whose initials are ML, and I have avoided saying that person's name intentionally because the belief is that this box was originally in France, but I haven't even mentioned to management the prospect that this could have originally been in the States, because there were a lot of French-speaking people, of course, especially in Louisiana, in particular New Orleans, in the 1800s. Has this box been in the United States before, many years ago? If so, make a sound now. And there's the shadow figure again. If that's you, come forward. Make a sound. Guys, the shadow figure is just darting back and forth in this room over here. This is several times now. And there's nothing that explains it. No, it's gone. was a really strange sound. Oh, burning up. Again, if that's you affecting the air around me, can you cool it down, please? Like you did earlier. That's that sensation of someone really close to me again. In fact, I've had the sensation of energies or entities or something around me quite a few times tonight. And I'm hoping, we do have an SLS cam running, and I'm hoping that it picks something up. We'll find out in review. But, wow. It's a curious mix of intense and exhilarating being with this box. And there's the tapping sound again. And again. Do you want to communicate more now? Who's moving around me? Who's in here with me? Say your name or your names so I can hear it on this device. There's that smell again. Speak now. Tell me what that scent is, what that is.
Coming.
Dave coming in. And now the temperature's dropped. It's been like 45 minutes. Was it?
It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
All right. Let's see how much. Are you drained?
I'm sort of dehydrated.
Mm-hmm. So I was.
I was burning up.
How do you feel you're anyway?
I had some things going on. Shadow figure in that room numerous times. A lot of anomalous noise, taps and other sounds.
What was the shadow that you were seeing?
It would move from here.
Oh, light finally died.
Like this. And then move. So it kept coming there. I mean, several times.
Unfortunately, they had a camera to do that.
Of course not. It feels like 10 degrees cooler in here than it was when I was in. The air was so thick over here.
You can definitely hear it.
So, what do you want to? Do you want to?
For the most part, I couldn't distinguish what he was saying. Only a word here and there, and I was really just kind of zoning out and not paying any attention.
Well, so we stop him.
Yeah, so let's wrap it. We can actually go put the camera live on him
See what he picked up.
and see what he picked up. Haven't killed the guy's
Well,
box.
I want to do one more session because it's.
No, that's fine. But I want to put the camera live on him for a minute and open that box to show everybody what
definitely,
was in it.
yeah.
And show him.
I know I definitely heard some responses that were dealing with what was in the box, but I never heard it say exactly what was in the box.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it didn't, because you know how it is when you're live with that stuff.
I know.
So. All right, so let's go track over to him.
It'd be nice to see what his impression is.
Yeah.
Before he opens it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Here, somebody take the SLS camera.
You bet. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on recording right now.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna move over to where Sean's at and pick up, ask him what his impressions were. Hopefully we won't lose signal going through here. Kathy, just take care of him. Knock him out of the chat room. Put him in timeout. If he says something else, just get rid of him. Thank you.
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
So, after all that, what's the answer? What's the answer?
Well, the only thing I heard was the Bible.
So, you heard that, but what's your impression? What do you think it is? Do you think it's the Bible?
Oh, me personally?
Yeah.
I didn't get any vibes at all, really. It's kind of light for me.
What's your first hit on it? Do you think it's the Bible? Nothing like being put on the spot.
It doesn't matter.
Being put on the spot, I don't know. I mean, that's my rational mind trying to fill in the blanks. That's the thing. I was trying to tap into the spirit box. This one was moving so fast. I was too busy trying to figure out what it was saying for me to try to figure that out. I mean, it said Bible twice to me, so.
Right. But here's what's interesting. I'll throw this in there. Why did that come on?
It's been responding to me, turning off and on, actually.
Okay. So one interesting thing, I could kind of hear you over there, but not enough to really hear many specific words or anything. And I frankly just kind of, pushed that out and pushed it aside and didn't pay any attention, didn't focus on it at all because of stuff going on over there. But the one thing I did hear was when this was saying you were getting Bible, but then I heard you say, so it's not the Bible. So something was telling you it wasn't the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay. And at that point, it was right around when I said, don't lie to him. Go tell him the truth of what's in that box. It's not the Bible. I know some of you guys watching already know what's in here. I'm going to reveal it at this moment. What is actually in here is what pretty much is probably the most potent protective item that's in the box. The hand carved crucifix. I intentionally took this out to see if it would intensify.
I never heard that word over the spirit box at all.
So you never heard cross or crucifix?
I heard, when I was monitoring it, I heard Bible numerous times and
Bible.
angel.
Yeah.
It also said angel.
It did say angel.
Right.
And when it's live, guys, we just got to review it.
Yeah, we do. So it'll be interesting to go back and listen. If any of you guys in the chat think that you heard cross or crucifix, let us know.
Yeah, I did
because
hear.
that's what was in here.
But it's funny. I mean, obviously there was a Bible in there too, but it was giving religious comments. But it did say. I asked how many spirits were attached to that voodoo box, and it said 5. And I said, is the item in the box associated? Like, is it negative? And it said violent. And I said, if it's negative, turn on the flashlight. And it said violent, and then the flashlight turned on right after that. So So that was a interesting response.
All right. Well, I had some interesting experiences in there with the thing. That shadow figure came back numerous times. Of course, in the room where you guys were having experiences.
Oh,
so
it
was off
it
camera.
referenced the shadow too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
But
you
again,
know, I had that.
something
I
dark.
had incredibly thick atmosphere in there.
Oh,
I swear, it got 10 degrees hotter just around me. And you know, I asked on command a few times. I asked it to, if it was making the air so thick and difficult to breathe, I asked it to step away, and I would feel.
Was it like that the whole time?
Cool.
No, it only did that when I got here.
Things trying to touch me.
So you had all those items there, so
I had everything there except for this. So, guys, thanks so much for participating remotely in our experiment and watching this. And we've got a lot of stuff to review because we've got SLS footage. I'm going to be really interested to see. Well, I don't know because nobody was monitoring it. So I had a lot of sensations of people or something trying to touch me, and constantly this feeling of somebody. You know, when somebody's standing like right there, really close to you, I kept having that sensation. So I don't know. Maybe SLS picked up something. I also had a recorder running, so I'm going to review that and see if we picked up any EVPs or anything because I asked a lot of questions. But what we're going to do as a wrap up is I'm going to carry this back. We're going to restore the box. And I think we're going to do, as a group, a little bit more for you guys and then wrap things up tonight.
why don't we check out the mirror maze?
You can go do that.
No one wants to go?
No.
Oh.
I don't because my stupid foot. Up and down the stairs.
Run into yourself, Dave, again?
No, my foot, dude. Going up and down the stairs is killing me. Do you feel drained or anything? Like you were affected?
Yeah, I feel drained now.
Because I know David was too.
Yeah, no, I started.
I didn't feel drained.
Like dehydrated.
I actually felt fine.
Dehydrated.
All of a sudden, I started to feel drained.
I always feel fine in the travel room, but the atmosphere got so thick it was crazy.
Yeah.
So you actually saw the shadow.
Yeah,
And that's how it was in there when I was there. I
Did it
felt
look just
hot and dry and
It's just a shadow figure that
And-
just kept
and it
it
looked-
kept coming from the left side,
How tall was it?
stepping in, looking, and then stepping back. It was probably 5 feet tall.
you got the box. Ghost box.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta these things too. You gotta be careful when they're on. If you shine them toward the camera, it'll burn your IR out. It'll fry your camera.
Oh, no, it wasn't aiming
On
at
the
me.
way.
I was right behind you.
No, well, it was. I mean, it was hitting the lens.
You watching?
Oh yeah.
Did you see anything?
I didn't make out anything directly, but
Okay.
You want this with you, or?
Yeah. Shit. Wrong way.
I'm following you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, see. Yeah. Let me see that thing, Ross, and I'll see if I can get it restarted here.
You know, this wasn't attached. I don't know if it fell off or what happened.
it was laying in the box.
It was laying in the box, yeah. But oddly, it was laying like that, which the top of the cross should have been down here.
Was it a fun?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All the stories.
Well, I turned it off just to save it a little bit. Still, okay.
Are you going back that way, or what are we doing?
You guys pick wherever you want to do.
I think we should end up right here, because this is the most intense area.
All right. Move this.
Oh. Especially if you're trying to save a video, it'd be crazy if you want.
Yo. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I can even see the tension in you trying to open it.
When you start saving a lot of videos, your memory gets slow and messes it up. The lights are on now.
Yeah, I think it's full or something. Yeah, it's good, yeah.
At least we know it.
Yeah, if you were recording for like 40 minutes, there's no way that we could fit it.
You don't have a memory card in it, do you?
No.
Again, thank you guys for joining us on Periscope and on YouTube. We appreciate you.
Freaking flashlights.
We're back on?
What?
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we've been on.
Okay.
We're just putting up the box, guys, so it's protected. So. Oops.
You finish stuff?
We're not leaving. We're gonna do a session.
Okay, stay here? Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna finish this thing up. So, just to recap, guys, and again, thank you for joining us on another great investigation at Ripley's, believe it or not, in Ocean City, Maryland. Again, welcome to our newest member, Ross Allison. It's a pleasure to have him aboard. Thanks to all the Periscope folks watching. Thanks to Brandon and Audra. I'd also like to say thanks to Quality Inn Boardwalk for having us, putting us up.
Yep.
And we're going to do one more session for you guys and end it up. And I think Sean, I don't know if Sean's going to the Mirror Maze before we leave, but he may be going down there. It's up to Brandon. So if you want to do it, now's the time, brother.
No one else wants to go with me?
Do it by yourself.
That's not good.
Take a ghost box or something and go.
Yeah, go check it out.
I don't want to because of my foot.
And I'm really drawn to see if I can see this shadow figure that he was seeing.
So,
I'm still processing all this stuff.
so
Wow.
now's the time before we start, bro. Do what you want to do.
So
Decide.
that was, I don't know, guys. I mean, this has been another great investigation. And it's, you know, last night it was a lot quieter in here, and tonight when we came in, as soon as we got over there to the area where all of the prison relics and so forth are, you know, I said, I think I said to Sean, I said it's a lot different in here tonight, and he and I were both agreeing that, you know, it just felt a lot heavier, a lot different, and we've had a lot of other things going on here, and this incredible thermal capture that Ross got over there in that area, that rates right up there with that SLS footage from the executioner's table in Panama City. This, you guys haven't seen this yet, please. It's been posted all over all of our Facebook pages at this point. There's a still shot, and we were looking at the details of this, and we're estimating this probably, we're thinking somewhere 4.5 feet tall, maybe, in that range, because of the one point of reference that's in the clip. And I don't know if it's the same figure. I know that while I was standing here doing this session with the Voodoo Box, I kept seeing a shadow figure in that doorway, and that's, you know, we're going towards where this.
I forgot that too. It actually did say Voodoo.
Okay.
So
we're gonna do something. We're back in the tribal area, and we're gonna see, you know, if we pick anything else.
I think, you know, one last thing, this whole area here and over there is definitely, in my opinion, the most active in the whole area. In the whole,
it certainly seems to be, yeah.
When I was in here too, I was hearing noises all around me, just like you were experiencing when you were in here doing the box. It's nuts. It's hard to explain the physicality of it. It's weird, man.
And don't be fooled, guys. If you know, if you think this is all there is to Ripley's, this location, there's a lot of other rooms that we didn't have time to go to, or that weren't necessarily relevant for an investigation, because this is where a lot of the reports are in this region, and that's where we had to, you know, we had to kind of pick and choose. So we focused in this area. And there's a whole oddities room you saw briefly. There's a room with a lot of nautical things, like the shark cage that Sean was in. Oh my gosh, there's tons of stuff in this place. It's a really cool experience to come through Ripley's and just to see a glimpse of the things that this man collected and found out about. And it's really cool. If you're in Ocean City, come down to the boardwalk, check out this location. Management is really cool. The place is being refurbished constantly, and lots of really amazing things to see in here, believe it or not.
All right.
That was my advertising pitch, Brandon.
There you go. We'll take
Cut me a check.
I mean, is it a pain in the ass? You want me to go to the mirror maze?
And I'll take some coffins off your hands.
Yeah, I'll take the wizard machine. All right, what are we doing?
We're putting in orders.
What are we doing? Ghost box? What?
Oh, you man, I'm still.
You tank.
I'm not tanked. I'm still just. My mind's going a million miles a minute.
We're not gonna go that way. We're gonna turn around and go back to the patrol. Okay.
All right, as soon as they make their way out, we'll start.
You guys will hear me come in after I drop him out.
All right.
I'll come back and come up here. So.
Enjoy, gentlemen.
Or you enjoy.
Don't get scared of yourself in the mirrors.
The IR is going to reflect right back at you, so.
So you were standing what, right here?
Yep.
Somebody hold this camera, man. My arm's about to fall off.
You want to do something in there?
No, I'm going to set this number here on the top. Tell us about the box. What kind of box did David just open up in here?
I heard it in there. Wasn't very clear.
Ooh. What was inside the box? Tell us one of the items. Black something. Give me one of the items that were in the box that he opened.
Bat.
Yep.
That just
was
said bat.
Yep. Thank you. Can you name another item?
Just to let you know, I got low battery.
Okay. Who did that box belong to?
It just came up and said low battery.
Who was the owner of that box originally?
So the battery is low. Little thing came down. And it went back up.
Mm-hmm. No, just look.
Where did that box come
Not gonna
from?
last very long.
What city did that box come from? It's just a Bible.
Yeah, the Bible has a second item.
Okay, thank you. What? Can you tell me what city that box came from? Is that the city or the person? Can you tell me the city that box came from? No. Why not? What city did the box originally come from?
Well, I don't know, that was close.
Okay. Can you tell me who the original owner of the box was? Who used that box to work spells? She's coming. Who is she? What? Can you tell me who's the woman you're referring to? What's her name? Tell me her first or last name.
I heard leave the box. Two different voices.
Yeah.
One and another.
What's your connection to the box?
Who showed themselves? Huh?
A woman's voice said, "Had it."
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Who had the box? What's your name? Yeah.
Did you show yourself to David when he opened the box? Or was that your guardian spirit? Still got pictures.
Still got pictures so far.
Who was the shadow figure we saw?
Oh, you said Eddie.
Said what?
Eddie. Help us. Help us too. He said help us.
Who needs help? Who do you want to help you?
Ooh. Dave. Were you a victim of the box? Yes or no?
Powering off.
I'm powering off. All right, guys. The